Welcome back to the studio. We're at the final destination on our road trip on the road quilt block. This is block number 10. This is the little Volkswagen van, and we can already see where it's going to go. And this is about our last stop on the journey. I have the last block that I pre-cut all the way back at the beginning of the year, and I'm going to repress that as I do each month, because I don't want any little micro wrinkles to translate into the finished block. The next thing I'm going to do is pull out my final color cover sheet and the pattern. I can set my color cover sheet here, pull out my pattern instructions, which I've read many times, and I'm going to use that to collect my papers from the backing. Then I'm going to open up my pattern and give that a press with my dry iron. Again, I don't want any of the creases from the pattern to translate into where I would place an applique item on the block and have it be a mistake because of the crease. So I'm going to go ahead and pull you in so you could watch me put this block together. This is the final destination, the big Grand Canyon stop on our on-the-road quilt. We have our pattern paper, and these can be reused later if you want to replicate this with your own needle turn applique or raw edge applique, but you would have to fuse the fabric yourself. Many of our patterns also are available as a SVG file that you could download. That means that they could be scalable in size, both up and down, but also that you could select your own fabric and put a fusible backing on it and run it through a machine similar to a Cameo Silhouette or a Brothers Scan & Cut. But today we're working with the kit from Elementz. So I have all of my pieces. All of my pieces are laser cut. They're backed with Steam-A-Seam 2 and a paper backing. And I'm just going to make sure I get all of my pieces out of the packaging. Sometimes with static cling, those little pieces can stick to the inside. So I have lots of little circles, lots of wheels, lots of hood ornaments, and again we have packed by Vicky. I think Vicky is probably the most prolific packer in the world. This goes on here. So we have 2 oval wheels and a round wheel. I'm going to start with my wheels and get some of these circles out of the way. The larger one goes first. Actually, I think this is the emblem. So I'm going to put that aside and use my oval as the wheel. The great thing is that all these pieces are repositionable. Even though they stick to the fabric, I can lift it up and move it if I need to, which I'm going to do with that wheel. And I'm going to do it again because my wheel's crooked. I don't want anyone thinking I bent an axle while I was on my trip. So I'm going to go ahead and put the hood of the van in place. And that's almost about where it goes. This is really a toss-up. Of which piece you could put down first. I went ahead and did the top first. I'm going to put my bumper on next. Let's see, I can put my oval wheels on. I can see I'm going to have to do a little bit of shifting around because I'm not happy with some of the placement. Sometimes it's nice just to get some of these pieces in the correct orientation, and then we can go ahead and put them in place. It would be easy to get one of these windows shifted around. All of these pieces just peel, the paper backing peels right off. Just by peeking up the fabric, I can get a good idea of where a piece needs to go. There, now there's a couple things that I'm not happy about. One of them is just exactly where these wheels are at. I want them to be floating inside the wheel well, and I've got it touching here, so I'm just going to reposition those a little bit. And let's see what else we have. We have headlamps. And then we have our flower power. And here we go. We're just about done with our vacation. So that's pretty much it for block number 10. I'm going to go ahead and peel my paper pattern from the back, and I'm going to put my color cover sheet aside and get out my Teflon pressing sheet, and we can get this one pressed and ready for the scrap album. We have all of our pieces in place. All the paper backing has been peeled away, so we've peeled and placed. Now we're going to press. These pieces are all still repositionable up until the point that I fuse them. You can see that I can still move the pieces around, but I'm going to go ahead and fuse them now. Because I use a dry iron, I use a spray bottle as my steam component. I just spritz the top of the applique shapes with my spray bottle, and then I will go ahead and fuse it with the iron, and when the iron hits the damp cloth, it creates steam, which gives me my Steam-A-Seam name, and that's how I go ahead and fuse. So the iron's already hot, and all I need to do is give it some time to permeate through all the layers. Now, the amount of time it takes is going to be different for every person because ambient room temperature is going to affect how warm or cold the fusible will. I had a set change getting ready for another video, and it was only then that I realized that the memory card was full on the camera, and I didn't actually get to conclude this video for the very last block in our on the road kit. So I have the last block done. It's all fused in place, and now all I have to do is go ahead and get the blocks put together, and I can put that last dragonfly in place on the quilt. Once I do that, then I can go ahead and add the borders and get this quilted. Not sure what we're going to be quilting it with yet, but we'll find that out pretty soon. Anyway, thanks for stopping by the studio today. I hope you enjoyed watching the assembly of all of these blocks, the process of putting them together, and maybe it brought back some memories of road trips that you've taken as a kid. So thanks for stopping by. We'll see you again next time when we're getting this all put together, and until then, have a nice road trip of your own.